Rabbi, can you tell me where the roots of Judaism came from?
The roots of Judaism actually go back to the days of Abraham, in that Abraham was regarded as being the first individual who came to the recognition of a one God, of a monotheistic concept of God, among a pagan society in which he grew up. Of course, his very roots came from a pagan society. His own father and grandfather and before him were involved in idol worship, and it was credited through Abraham that he was the individual that came to the recognition of a oneness of God and then began to teach that to the people around him. And so from Abraham, who was considered to be one of the founding fathers, Abraham, then Isaac and Jacob, considered to be the patriarchs of the Jewish people, and the origins of the Jewish people came about through Abraham.
Do you think that most Jewish people abide by the covenant with Moses today as well as historically?
Well, of course, the covenant with Moses that was made is what we call the Torah, or what is known as the 5 books of Moses. And the covenant with Moses is something that we hold very sacred to us, because the covenant itself was established at Mount Sinai, that historically, after the Jews had exited from Egypt, they were freed, as we believe, through the hand of God, that he then did not give us freedom without direction towards something, and the freedom was really directed towards Sinai. And that is where, at that point, the covenant was established with the Jewish people. And as some of our sages teach us, and our holy writings teach us, that the covenant was something that was for all generations, the generations that had been, for that generation, and certainly for generations even to come, was to be the establishment of the covenant.
Today.
So the covenant today is obviously very much in effect as the Jews being part of what we call a covenantal community.
In what ways has the Jewish life changed during the recent years?
Well, Jewish life essentially goes through various forms of social transformation, because the life that was lived, obviously, in the society in the days of Moses is different than the life of the Jewish people when they were dispersed to other countries, be it in the Middle Eastern countries, in Europe, Western Europe, Eastern Europe, and then certainly having Judaism transmitted, brought here to these shores, the American shores, and life growing here in America. Certainly, there's no doubt that social change has taken place within the Jewish community. However, we certainly believe very strongly, at least particularly the branch of Judaism that I represent, which is the branch of Orthodox Judaism, maintains that the tradition that was handed down from the days of Sinai, the law that was given to Moses, is very much in effect today, that it is an immutable, unchanging type of law, and that rather than adapting the law to society, we rather take society itself and all of its advances, and even today in our day and age with technological advances, seeing how they are interpreted in light of Jewish law and Jewish custom.
Question is, what is the significance of the Torah to Judaism faith?
Well, the significance of Torah to Judaism's faith is probably as significant as the heart is to the human body. That even though today we can fabricate mechanical hearts, it doesn't replace the significance of what one's human heart is. And just as the heart is integral to the human body, without it we could not function, and so too the Torah, which of course we believe is the revealed word of God that he gave to us in order to give us a direction in life, how to live our lives, conduct our lives. becomes the very lifeblood of the Jewish people themselves. Without Torah, we're not a people. We don't have an identity, and certainly would not know how to conduct.
Could you explain a little bit about Hanukkah?
Okay, sure. Hanukkah is a holiday, but it's considered to be a minor holiday as opposed to our major holidays. What do I mean by that? The holidays that we have on the Jewish calendar, such as Passover, the holiday of the Festival of Booths that we have, which is called Sukkot, even the holidays of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, which are the Jewish New Year, all have their origin, their basis within the Torah itself. And so therefore they have what we call a biblical status to them. The holiday of Hanukkah was the result of a historic event, a historic victory that took place, let's say, over 2,000 years ago, in which the Jewish people in Palestine at the time were confronted with assimilation, Hellenization at the hands of the Syrian Greeks. And it was in those days that the Holy Temple was overrun, and the menorah, which was the symbol of light, of spiritual light of the Jewish people, was once again reestablished at that time. So consequently, throughout the generations, we celebrate that festival of lights by rekindling in Jewish homes that menorah that symbolizes the everlasting spiritual light of the Jewish people.